It's that time of year when we begin to look back and reflect on ourselves, acknowledging what we did right, what we did wrong, and ways of improving oneself for the following year. I set a lot of goals for myself this year. Some big, some small, but to put it simply, I did not achieve my big goal this year. But it's okay. I'm okay. And I'm here to talk about it. Within this video, we'll be talking about the goals for the channel, but also my own personal goals. They may not seem like they would initially connect, but I feel as if any and all of my goals have become intertwined with one another. So to start, my initial goal for this channel was to achieve 1,000 subs before 2025. Not only can you easily go and check for yourself, but if I did do this, this would have been a completely different video. And I just want to say, I'm not beating myself up in the fact that I did not achieve my goal. However, I think it's good to talk about the steps that I took that didn't help me achieve my goal. And I really think it came down to 4 things: timing, effort, life, and mental state. I believe it was the Samurai Jack video when I had finally voiced my sub goal for 2025. That had always been my goal since restarting the channel back in July of 2023. For some reason though, I was afraid to voice that in my videos. I didn't want anyone to feel pressured or that I was only doing it for the sub count. The real reason why I started this channel is to just voice my opinions on things, and I just realized I had so many ideas in my head and I just needed to get them out somewhere, which just so happened to be this channel. So I quietly decided to let my videos speak for themselves. But on the opposite end of things, I really felt like after voicing that subscribing and liking my videos helps the channel itself began growing at a more rapid pace. I think the reason why that happened is a mix of those 2 statements. Obviously, I want this channel to do well, but it's not just a want. Your videos need to reflect that want, and that means producing better videos, which comes with time. I feel like I've really started to hit my stride when it comes to my style and how I do things here. And as my mom always says, the first year is all about survival. That quote is absolutely true for everything. If you are planning to do something for the foreseeable future, that is a commitment, and one that you need to stick to. But for that first year, regardless if that year is good or not, you are surviving. You may think you're used to it, but you're still trying to figure everything out. If you want to figure things out, you need to also put in some. Obviously, making a video takes time. It's a multi-step process, and every creator and artist has a different process. My process looks a little bit like this: randomly hit with inspiration/idea for a video, scripting the video, collecting assets, clips, sound effects, music, etc., recording voiceover/live action segments, editing, exporting the video, and sending it out into the universe. Depending on the video, certain things may take more time than others, or even have extra or less steps. For example, my Has Been Hotel video and my Boy in the Heron video, all of that criteria mentioned was all done that very day of conception or the day after or prior. However, those are 2 very short videos and didn't need much work done to them anyway. A longer video, my Samurai Jack video, again for example, took about 3 months in total. I wrote, scrapped, and rewrote that script roughly 3 times, because I was never satisfied with how it sounded or flowed. On top of all of that, within every video, I tried to do something new. Whether it be a new type of transition, audio effect, graphic, animation, what have you, not only to keep things fresh and exciting, but to also improve my skills as an editor. Because at the end of the day, that is who I am. I am Casey Campbell, and I am an editor. With all of that being said, I feel like as the first year and onward of my reboot kept going, I had to put more and more effort into my videos, which ends up taking more time. But that amount of effort all eventually exploded, and I became very tired. Don't get me wrong, I am happy with every single video I have put out, and I'm proud of all of the effort that went into said videos, but behind the scenes was a very tired 20-something-year-old. With that tiredness as well, it became harder and harder for me to make these videos without getting more distracted or feeling drained. As well as the state of video creation now being content. You not only need to make a video, but you need to market said video. You need to create YouTube shorts. You need to have some sort of knowledge of business practices, which are all things I'm still trying to understand, which all adds up to more effort. I think what I'm trying to say is that I put so much effort into some things while ignoring other things that only would have been beneficial toward me in the end. So, with that being said, I should focus my efforts on doing what I'm good at and like doing, while trying to find some time to do the things I don't have much knowledge of. I'm still learning, growing, and figuring everything out, as many 20-something-year-olds are doing, as well as trying to navigate myself through. 2024 began how 2023 ended. I was surrounded by friends, family, and loved ones that not only supported me, but genuinely loved me for me. I was in the same house, I was still working on videos, I was surrounding myself with good people, but that was about it. Even though that sounds like a very relaxing and stressful-free life, behind everything, I was on a self-destructive and self-hating path that seemed never-ending. I really wasn't doing anything except for this channel, which was my main problem. I was being creative, but my habits and lifestyle were, like I said before, self-destructive and self-hating. I became obsessed with the fact that, oh, this video didn't do well, or oh, this didn't get enough likes, or oh, I didn't gain any subscribers on this video. Again, all of that just leads to a very self-destructive and self-hating life, which is very unhealthy. We as people shouldn't care about those stupid numbers that don't really mean anything. Like, yeah, they feel good and all, but if something doesn't do good, then it just makes you feel bad, which is unfortunately the case, but shouldn't be the case. I was scared more than anything. I was scared that I would have to move back with my parents. I was scared that I would lose everyone in my life. I was scared of failing. And I was scared of losing myself. I was scared to dive off that metaphorical cliff that would change my life, simply because I didn't know what would happen. However, one very special person had finally had enough, so they pushed me off the cliff, and I couldn't be happier. Because of that push, my friend landed me a job. Granted, it's in an industry I don't like. I feel more tired than ever because of it. It is indeed a dead-end job, but at least I'm able to do things on my own. And truthfully, I feel like I need to work a job I absolutely hate so that I can work harder on my art, so that in the future I won't need to work a job like that ever again. But life doesn't stop there. My friends opened their door for me and gave me a new place to live after my lease ended. I began eating better. I began regularly exercising. I was still finding time to hang out with friends. I started taking the time to take care of myself. I was given more creative opportunities that weren't only YouTube related. But somehow, on top of all of those things, I was still creative and making videos. And then, for some reason, all of those things that I was doing to improve my life started to feel like they weren't improving my life. And I didn't know how to deal with that. And because I didn't know how to deal with what was happening, that self-destructiveness and that self-hatred I talked about earlier came back. I began digging a hole I couldn't get out of, which all culminated in a very fragile. My whole life, it had felt like I had been relying on other people. That special person pushed me off that cliff. My friend gave me a job. My friend gave me a new place to live. The people in my life gave me purpose. But I wasn't giving myself any purpose. So I thought to get out of this hole I dug myself into, I had to do it all alone. I began bottling up my thoughts and emotions. I became distant, and the bitterness and self-hatred that I once had returned. The vow stating 2024 would be the year of Casey seemed to disappear in the wind. I thought if I just kept working on creative things, I would finally get out of this hole. In actuality, the hole just kept getting deeper. I stated all of this and then some to myself, but it wasn't until I stated everything to the people around me that things finally started to begin looking up. I don't know why I thought I had to lift myself out of that hole when directly above me there were more people than I could ever imagine holding out their hands to help me. Unfortunately, I realized all of this after it was already too late. But not only is that life, that's also considered being human. Even though that hole I dug myself into was lonely, the one thing I still had was this channel. A place where I could go express myself, talk about the things I wanted to talk about. A place where I could feel like myself regardless of what I was doing outside of this channel. Even though I never completed my big goal, I never once gave up. Even when I was digging that hole, I still never gave up on myself. When I made that sub goal for 2025, I knew I probably wouldn't accomplish it. However, what's the point of having these goals and dreams if you don't make them unachievable? You need to push yourself. You need to try new things. You need to fail every once in a while, because if you do all of that, someday, somehow, everything will become worth it. It feels like I've given up on so many things in my life, but that only means that I need to fight for this dream and goal much, much harder. It means I need to put more time into my goals. It means I need to put more effort into my goals. It means that my goals need to become a part of my life. It means that my mental state needs to reflect the outcome, whether I complete said goals or not. It means that I need to strive for greater things in my life, and that makes me excited because I know I'm not done growing. I know I'm not done with my journey. I know that someday my drill will be the drill that pierces the heavens. And until I do pierce the heavens, I know I will always have something to strive for. But that's Just me. So, I ask you, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? And how are you going to achieve them? Because if I haven't given up, then there's no reason for you to either. Because who the hell do you think I am? I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I'm recording videos again. I'm glad where my headspace is at. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be me. Alright. Before I keep getting any more sappy, I'm just gonna get on out of here. Peace.